Welcome to episode 7 of the Verified Build. Exciting one this week. We've got a couple of different things going on. Firstly, we jump into the property. We speak to Chris. Chris has got both the Baxi boilers hung on the walls. So we open up the heat only and the combi, show you what's inside and the difference between those two heating systems. Then a couple of weeks back, we were joined by Sarah from Stage Spaces. Sarah runs a staging company. And when we finish this property, we want to make sure it looks as good as possible. And we talk through the property as to her considerations when she's staging a property like this to make it look as good as it possibly can. And then we wrap up the week with a quick conversation with Dan when it comes to all things landscaping. Let's get into it. I expected more of a wall to be up. Chris, amazing to see the boilers hung on the walls. Just before we get into the actual boiler itself, what we try and do on the Verified Build is we find the right installer, member of the Verified Trades community, ask what their brand preference is. Chris is a Baxi installer, so we spoke to our friends over at Baxi who have supplied the 2 boilers and the cylinder for the property. But I thought many people actually don't know what the difference between boilers are. We've got a heat only in this property and a combi in that property. Is it possible to actually open this up and have a quick look inside?
Yeah, we can have a look, yeah. So this is a 25 kilowatt heat only. Rad calculations, we've worked out, we've probably got about 16, 17 kilowatt through the property. So they do a 16, a 25 and a 30, I think. Gone for 25 to account for all the central heating, and you've got the cylinder on top, which has probably got at least a 3 kilowatt coil in it. So 25 kilowatt would be ample for that.
When it comes to the kilowatt boiler, is there any reason why bigger isn't always better?
It's pointless throwing a 30 in because it's not going to be used. You're not going to always use that potential. It's slightly different with a heat only rather than a combi because a combi works on hot water demand. So we've got a 30 kilowatt over in the cottage. It's smaller, but we've got a lot of hot water demand. We've got a decent shower in there, kitchen sink, stuff like that. So if we've got the means to use it, let's use it. If there's no point, then don't bother. On the front, basic little buttons. One for end user, they can see these all light up, these all flash, and that's your temperature of your boiler, what it's going to be kicking out at. Pop that down. This is what I like of these. So this is our already pre-wired cable, and they don't need what we call a pump overrun. From an installation point of view, I've not now got to go and get a cable from here, so pretend it's all fully furnished, from here to the airing cupboard, pulling boards up, pulling this up, that, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I can use a 50-year-old boiler, say. We take that out. I can use the existing wiring to power this rather than having to update.
So from an installer's perspective, hugely time saving. From a homeowner's perspective, potentially no direct benefit, but it's probably reflected in your price because you've got to do a little bit less work.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect.
Ta-da!
Chris, there's actually a lot less inside here than I was expecting. Is that because this is a heat only boiler?
Yeah, so we've not got loads of other components that work with a combi as such. All this is doing is being told to heat water up. So we've got valves and stuff that'll be upstairs which will divert the water around your cylinder, around your radiators. So none of that is inside this like it is a combi.
And as a Baxi installer, what is it about, whether it's the boiler or the brand itself, that makes you prefer to choose these?
The brass in them, they're solid, nice and easy to work on.
You say the brass. Why does brass matter?
Because in boilers, they fire up, they get hot, they cool down, they turn off. A lot of plastic inside boilers, over time, they can become brittle, they can pinhole, they can split, causing a lot of issues.
Okay, that heating, cooling,
yeah,
all the time. Okay.
So the more metal you can get inside them, personally to me, is better. It's going to last a lot longer than plastic will. Obviously, you're always going to have components which are plastic, and you can't help that. But on the flip side of that, if something does go wrong, these come with a 10-year warranty, providing we fit this here.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? So this is a MagnaClean.
So this isn't the only time you're going to see AD throughout the Verified Build. We're actually working with a great team over at AD. And not only are we going to show you the different products that they offer, we're going to talk to you about the importance of having a filter on your system, not only to maintain the warranty, but also the cost benefits as a homeowner. So Chris, we've got a bit of pipe, which I think the landscaper is using for the outside tap, but that's where the old flue used to be, isn't it, for the boiler?
Yes, yeah, for the old one.
What's happening with the flue here?
With this one, we're going to go up. So because we've got a bit of a pitch roof here,
Yep.
we can go vertically up and stick a vertical terminal on the top. Like the cottage. One, to get away from nuisance pluming coming out at the side of the property. And two, we're not too close. We're far enough away from the window. It's just the what ifs. Just to cover a back, so we can go vertical. There's plenty of room up there to inspect, plenty of room up there to install it. So, and we've got a kit from Baxi to do it, so why not?
So this is the heat only boiler. This is going to, like you say, be told to heat water.
Yep.
Which then tells the cylinder upstairs.
Yep.
We're going to have a look at the megaflow cylinder when that's all plumbed in and fitted, so we can talk exactly what that is and how it works in relation to the heat only. Can we pop over to the cottage and have a quick look at the combi that's on the wall?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Oh, we've got a little bit less space in here. Harry's nicely tucked in the corner. Let me stand over here and I'll let you talk through the boiler. So this is the Baxi Combi Boiler.
Yep.
We've got a couple of bits. Can we do the same thing and take the front off?
Yeah, we do.
And have a look inside, see what's different?
I have taken screws out.
Who's ready for filming? Always a professional. And just so I know, on top we've got the 80 filter again.
The 80 filter again gives us a 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty. What's this little thing for?
This is our kind of like a pre-piping bracket.
Okay.
So when we fit it to the wall, we can add this if our pipework was coming out the top. That gives us 5 guides for where our pipework is going to drop down the back of the boiler to the valves.
Sorry, is that something that's just off the shelf, or is that supplied by Baxi with this boiler?
Supplied by Baxi.
Specific for this boiler?
Specific, because we can run our pipework down the back without having to have an additional mounting bracket. I like that with Baxi. An additional mounting bracket's only 40, 50 quid, whatever, but it's still something else, and your then boiler comes out to here rather than being as compact, covered fit kind of thing.
This looks a little bit different.
Right, so inside here, the same, in principle, it's the same operation, it's just told to heat water up.
Can I ask a very silly question? You've obviously just taken a couple of screws out ahead of just hitting record so we can talk through the boiler. It would be very easy for a homeowner to do the same thing. At what point does a homeowner never touch the boiler? Should they never be taking screws off and doing anything in relation to the boiler? And if they need something, call a heat engineer? Or is there, if I want to have a look inside to see if there's anything wrong with it, I could do it myself? Is there a DIY element to this?
No.
Not at all?
No. If somebody takes the case off without correct qualifications registration, then there's no longer a valid warranty. Baxi might confirm that. But the thing is with these, they have a case seal, which this is.
Yep.
So this needs to be intact to make sure we don't get any potential gases coming back into the room, which could be lethal.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff that we do to enable, or that I've done to enable me to take that case off and put that case back on.
Yeah, it's easy to take it off, but the qualifications, the registrations you've had to go through, there's a warranty issue, but there's also a safety issue.
Yeah.
If a homeowner has a problem with the boiler, don't do what we're doing, because I'm just aware that we make it look very easy to take the actual case off the front of the boiler, but as a homeowner watching this, you should never be taking the case off a boiler. Call the professional. While we're here, what's inside? Let's have a look.
As I've said, it's designed to be told to heat water up. So because this is a combi, we've got a lot of other things inside. We've got our diverter valve. In English, basically what it is, it diverts the water. So if I turn my tap on, the colder water will go through the boiler, trigger a flow sensor. The flow sensor will tell the boiler to fire up. We want hot water. It'll go through that metal thing at the back that we call a plate to plate, and the diverter valve will say we want the water to go to heat the hot water, or we want it to heat the central heater.
The way you're doing that, it kind of makes me think of like a train track. Do you know when they kind of change the tracks over?
More or less, but it's a pin. It's a
Perfect.
pin going up and down and a set of washers. It'll push the washers up for heating, for example, or it'll push the washers back down, push the pin back down for hot water.
What is this thing at the back that you just referenced?
That's called a plate to plate heat exchanger.
And is that physically what water's being pushed through to heat it?
Yes, so in one side, we've got our cold water going in, and it'll go through the plate to plate and come out hot. The other side, we've got boiler water as such, put it in easy terms, which will go on the other side. So there's a physical divide between them, and the water just kind of mixes, and it heats the water up as it goes through.
I didn't see this in the last one. What's this?
That's a pump.
Was there one in the heat only?
No.
Okay.
No, that's all external for the heat only. But with the Combi, pumps on the inside of the boiler, everything's on the inside of the boiler. So the pump will pump the water through the plate to plate, and it'll also pump it around the central heating system through the radiators. So connecting our plate to plate, we've got our brass assemblies, layman's terms, hydro block assemblies. Probably not layman's terms, probably.
That's what layman's
I know the Some manufacturers have them in plastic, but as with the other one, plastic can get brittle over time. It can crack, it can pinhole. Because we've got cold main water going through there, if that does pinhole, the only way to stop it is turn your cold water off. So that won't only just stop the hot water to the property, it'll stop the cold water to the property as well.
Stops everything coming in.
So on every Combi you'll see a pressure gauge on the front. If that pressure gauge, you can see there's a little green mark, it should be within that green mark. That is the safe operating pressure of the boiler. As the water heats up, it will rise, but the boiler needs enough pressure in it to trigger it to work correctly. That keeps it safe. So little tips and stuff like that. If you see you blow off, so there might be a little copper pipe, or there will be a little copper pipe sticking out the wall. If that's dribbling, that's a safety device. It could potentially mean that that isn't doing its job properly.
And in terms of top tips on the property when it comes to the heating solutions, once all these are plumbed in, I'd love to go through specifically what you do when it comes to a boiler service, because there's a requirement to get the boiler serviced every single year, why we do that, and what you actually do when you do that. And then any other top tips you can give to homeowners. And I'd say one thing that's quite timely right now is if there's anything that could be done, so I remember on the last boiler there was this temperature for the radiators. What we should be setting these temperatures to try and save a little bit of money on your heating bills. But we'll get to all of that once they're hung and we've got some hot water running through the system. Perfect.
How are you doing?
I'm really well, yeah, good to see you.
This is a place now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Fabulous.
Before we go into the property,
Yes.
do you want to do a quick intro to the camera in terms of who you are and what you do?
Sure.
We've had a relationship before at a previous property.
Yep.
Do you want to explain a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. So I'm Sarah and I own a staging company called Stage Spaces. We furnish empty properties predominantly. So we'll come in, we'll do a really good assessment, we'll assess the target market, the target buyer for the property, the sort of property, and then we will come up with a furnishing and accessory packages. We'll design all that to work within the customer's brief, the target buyer, and then give you that show home feel to create a lifestyle for buyers. And in a nutshell, that's what we do.
And the reason we brought Sarah in, as previously mentioned in a video that was probably one of the first on the channel, is the benefit of staging is it takes the questions out of the mind of a potential buyer. They can walk around, see where things could go, and all these questions that they might have, if you take those off the table, you can normally get to a quicker sale. Sarah's helped us at a previous property, and what we'll do, H, can you drop some of the photos from that on the screen? And Sarah, what I wanted to do today, can we just walk around, H will follow us, but talk through the property, any questions that you want to know from me, and then what we want to end up with is a quote as well as some design ideas for the property.
Sure, absolutely, not a problem at all.
Sounds like a plan. What do you want to know, just generally speaking, about the property before we go into the rooms?
I mean, I've watched your videos already, so I've had a really good look at it. I know there's an issue with the light in the kitchen here, so let's look at how we can maybe lift that a bit with some of the accessories we bring in.
Perfect.
I don't know if you've done your flooring choices, but that could make a difference with the light in there as well.
I haven't done the flooring choices. Is that something you can advise on?
Yes, that is something we can advise on, yeah. So that might be an idea. And then, yeah, it's just looking at one of the things we do find with period properties is obviously they're great and they're quirky, but we have to really assess furniture and doorways. So looking at what will work and how we can actually physically move the furniture in. So that's one thing I'll be really sort of looking and questioning today. And also, again, who's going to buy these houses? That's something we really need to establish today.
Yeah, we can explore that.
We can get together then on how you think the living spaces will work. And yeah, I think that will be it, really.
Perfect. I think one thing to just drill in on there is it's not just about you providing the design.
No.
You specifically actually provide everything as well as come and stage it. We don't do anything. We get the house ready we step away.
You give us the keys and then we come in and,
and
work
it's like
on magic.
It is like magic. We come back and the property looks absolutely
Yeah.
stunning with all the designs.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look inside. This will be the utility room.
Okay, fabulous.
And we've got some designs that I can share with you for the utility in both the kitchens.
Super.
There's going to be a worktop across here,
Okay.
utilities underneath, and a large fridge freezer over there.
No problem at
In
all.
terms of room measurements,
Yeah.
we've got them all.
If you can just,
I can send you them all across.
you send me them across, we can work to those as well.
The one thing it doesn't have,
yeah.
what you just mentioned outside, is specifically clarity on where the doors are and where they open.
Okay.
So it might just be worth taking note
No,
of that.
absolutely. No, that's not a problem at all. So that one faces in.
All the way through the property, we're not sure what we're doing with flooring, so
Okay.
any considerations that you can advise us on would be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is like a 1950s floor or something here, sort of. I bet there's lots of different
Different floors throughout the whole property.
throughout the ages. Yeah.
Exactly.
And is this going to be a toilet or are you got a
So
larder?
this
or?
is just going to be a larder.
Yeah, brilliant.
We're originally considering putting the boiler on there, but we're not. We're going to stick it up there.
Super.
Under here is, we're going to convert that to a downsized WC.
Oh, super.
Living space,
Yes.
lounge area.
Love it.
Made some amendments to make sure that we can put the TV up on the wall up there.
Yeah, fabulous. Really nice. Lighting, just gonna.
Lighting is going to be, I should probably ask Nick that question. Yeah, these are where the lighting is going. So we're having lights there,
Okay.
pendant lights, 3 pendant lights, one either side of the chimney breast, and then one at the back of the room.
So
not
wall
pendant
lights.
wall lights, thank you.
That's fine. And how high will they be in terms of, could we put some artwork or something underneath? So
I'm assuming what Nick's done is chase the back where the light's going, so if I assume the wall light is going to be there,
Okay.
you're probably dealing with...
okay, because
5
if not,
foot.
what we could look is maybe put console each side with some like nice vases and stuff. We did it, I think, at
Yes.
Main Street just because he hadn't got a focal point.
Perfect.
But obviously you've got that just to give something in those alcoves. Maybe we'll put a chair in one and a console in another just so it's not an empty space.
Perfect.
And probably a nice big mirror on the mantle because that will help mount some of this light.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah, so if we, because you can see the sun coming through here now, and obviously it is dark and it's really cottagey and it's cosy, but you do want to bring some light in. So if we bring, that's why I was asking about lighting, so I think that's perfect having those there. And then if we get a really nice big mirror on there, that will then bang.
Never considered using mirrors to bring the light around the
There
room.
you go, you
Top
see?
tip.
Top tip. And again, I think probably something, a couple of sofas in here, definitely. Maybe a 3 and a 2. And then what we
create
would
the
do
walk space
here,
around the back of
yeah.
that
And
two-seater.
also as well, we always try and move our furniture in off the walls a bit, because again, when you live in houses, you generally have it pushed back, but it just gives the illusion of more space in a room if we bring. It looks a little bit nicer as well. So
Perfect. We've got a
I'm okay here, you see, because I'm vertically challenged.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm okay.
It's like, yeah.
Harrison, not quite the same. So, just so you know, with this space, is we are looking to make this a kitchen diner, and the wall over here, knocking this through. There's a pillar to the other side,
Yeah.
and we're looking at knocking through either side
In the
to
hope-
try and create a little
sort
bit
of-
more space
Yeah,
and light.
to make it a little bit more of that modern open plan feel.
Exactly.
So it's like a living kitchen. We're looking at possibly dining table in here, yeah?
Exactly.
And then maybe a sofa area or something over there.
Nice little snug over
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. So you've got that really nice family living space, because this is a 4-bed, isn't it?
4-bed.
So it is going to be families that are
Exactly.
wanting to, yeah. Maybe look to see if we could get like just a nice chair or something in, just lifestyle this a little bit, because I know it's difficult with it. Is it going to be working? Is there going to be a...
Not going to be working. We've taken that
Okay.
out, and we're really not entirely sure what to do with that space. There is a consideration around knocking it through,
Okay.
but we're getting a structural engineer to have a look
Yeah,
at it for
because
us.
I should imagine it's holding a lot of the building
Holding
up
a lot
at the
of the
moment.
building
Yeah,
up. Exactly.
absolutely.
So I would assume that
Because
we're
it
not
takes
knocking
up
it through.
such a big chunk of the
It
room.
really does.
I mean, if you could open it, it's not going to lose the character, because obviously you've got all these fabulous beams and stuff.
Yep.
But that would just,
Wow.
it would be a proper wow factor. Yeah,
100%. And like you say, it will just let as much natural light
Yeah.
flow through the whole downstairs living space.
super.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's that. And then
See, this is a really good size, isn't it?
good sized kitchen, but
Really good.
like you know, dark.
Yes.
Just so you know what's happening with this space. This door's coming out.
Yeah.
This door is going to get made into a secure back door Lots of
Okay.
light is going to be coming through this, so it's going to be
Fabulous.
largely glass.
Okay. Is it going to stay this lovely shape as well?
Yes, yeah, we'll
Oh,
keep it in
that's
shape.
lovely.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but we'll keep it in the
No,
shape. It's just
that's
part of the
really
character.
nice.
So we're thinking sort of like coming off the back garden, this is going to be a little
Yeah.
bit of space to take your boots off and
Yeah,
shoes.
big room. Yeah,
Yeah, get
absolutely.
unmuddy before you
Yeah.
enter into the kitchen.
And then in terms of units, we're looking,
All along this wall.
so nice sort of, are you going L shape if you're knocking? That depends if this is coming out as defensive.
Yeah, TBC on that, and we're going for a shaker style kitchen
Nice.
in a very light grey.
Okay, so in terms of flooring, we're looking at something that would work with it will flow from room to room, won't it?
Yeah.
So you're looking at a tile or a wood or?
Honestly,
Not sure.
don't know right now.
Okay.
We're carpeting from stairs upwards. but
Yeah, absolutely.
Downstairs, not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be,
Yeah, any
obviously, if
thoughts?
this is all going to be one, then it's got to flow through living and dining, hasn't
Mm-hmm.
it, really? And kitchen space. But yeah, no, I'll get my thinking cap on that and put some ideas in the room sets
Yeah,
we do.
perfect.
Not a problem.
We have no idea of what colours for walls, so
Okay.
please feel free to
Yeah.
give any
Absolutely.
advice on that.
Yeah.
We're working with a paint supplier called Lick. I'm not sure if you're familiar
Lick,
with them.
yeah.
Working with Lick, so if you
They
use
do
that,
fab stuff.
they really. I'm glad you got that on camera. they do fab
I've
stuff.
used them in my own house, so
Oh,
yeah.
amazing! Perfect.
Absolutely.
So if you use their colour codes in terms of what we're thinking
Yeah,
of the property,
no,
if-
and they're great. And what I love about them is they're really, really true to colour. And the stickers that you can get, they're fab because it's actually like having the paint on the wall
Okay.
with that. So that is a really good idea to order some of the samples,
Yep.
and then you can see how again the light works with it. Because obviously when paint's on a wall, it's very different from when it's in a tin.
Perfect,
So it
okay.
changes from house to room, and yeah, really, really good to get some of
as
those
part
samples.
of the work that you're doing, if you
Yeah.
provide some ideas, I can get some samples, stick
Yeah.
it on the wall, and then we can maybe do
Absolutely.
another run through.
Yeah, super.
Coming on up the stairs.
Okay, is this going to be staying or will this? I'm just thinking.
You're asking
for-
all the good questions today.
Well, I am, because obviously this will affect how we can manoeuvre furniture upstairs because we've not got height here.
Very interesting. Didn't consider that.
I mean, we should.
I kind of like the idea of removing it because I think it will just feel more open, but
Yeah.
is it taken away from the character?
I don't know, because you've still got the character of the beams and the stairs. I don't know if it is a little bit. It's not. Is it original?
What
It
you'll,
looks
what
to
you'll
me a bit-
notice throughout the rest of the property
There's been
is
add-ons.
Lots of add-ons. Previous
Yes.
owners have had a good go at some bits
Yeah.
themselves throughout the property, as we're learning.
Sure.
So,
I mean, one option maybe is just from a safety aspect, is maybe if you kind of, I don't know, came down to sort of, so there's something to stop you just falling off the edge of the stairs there, but maybe not if it was sort of at an angle, I don't know, nor like a traditional sort of
yeah,
banister.
let me
But
come back to you on that.
okay, no problem.
But I would say right now, I'm leaning on the fact that it won't be, there will be something here, but you'll have more access.
Sure.
Like you say, if we put a normal banister in, put a bit
Yeah.
of a slope on.
We've obviously got
Just
that,
to
you can
also
sort
make
of,
clear that the stairs don't enter here, you enter the stairs from this way.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, we should be all right with most stuff. It's just if we decided to bring a bigger headboard or something in.
I guess the first thing to talk about is nice big landing space.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep it feeling very airy, but it feels
Yeah.
like there's a potential opportunity to put something in here.
I think it would be ideal for having maybe a desk and a little work from home space.
Okay.
I think, or we could just go a little bit more lifestyle and have, again, like we did at Twycross, do you remember we had the big chair and the footstool and a little reading area and that nice landing there?
Yes.
So we could create something more lifestyle in that respect, or we could create something that is more of a usable space. So obviously post-pandemic people are still working from home, so a really good thing would be to maybe show a work from home space.
Like it. Okay. Yeah, I definitely like it. I just think it would be a waste not to use it in some
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. It's got to be
Harry nearly went
dressed.
down a hole then, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
So definitely watch your step.
Oh my
So what we're
goodness.
looking at from the landing is 1, 2, 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
There's a bathroom that comes off.
Wow, it's
there.
huge, isn't it?
And then we've converted upstairs into the master. So
Okay.
we'll just show you the rooms first. This is arguably the, actually this is the second largest room on this floor.
This is a really good size.
Watch your step.
Yeah.
Definitely watch your step.
Okay. So double bed in there, bedside
double bed
tables.
there. We've positioned the sockets so the bed goes there, either side of the bed.
Brilliant.
We've got the sockets in place.
That's a fabulous thing, you know, when you're redeveloping though, is to make sure that your power points are in a place where the bed can be.
Luckily we've
so
got
many times we've done new builds and we're having to run extension leads around because they've not thought about where the bed might go and put the right power points in. So no, top marks there.
Top marks for Nick, to be honest.
Top
That was
marks.
the first thing that Nick did. He walked through and was like, where are things going? I was like, I could do with Sarah here, to be honest, to work out where some of the rooms are going.
No, it's super. But again, especially when we're presenting to sell, even if someone might then want a bed here, I think it's important to have that wow factor when you walk in, and we always like to have the bed facing the door if we can. But obviously we've then got space to have a nice dressing table, an accent chair, so yeah, worked really well.
It's a smaller room.
Yeah, but it's still a double. So
Still a double in here?
Still a double.
Perfect.
Easily. And a full double. It's not like we'd have to put a small double bed in. We could put a small double in to make it appear bigger. So a small double bed, only 120 centimetres. So yeah, all it is. And but I still think a proper double we'd easily, and again, got room for furniture in here. Yeah, definitely. That'd be really nice.
Sockets are in the right place again.
Yeah, socket's great, because that's where your bedside tables will go. I mean, you could actually fit a king-size bed in here. We wouldn't for staging, but if somebody bought the property and wanted a king-size in here, you would fit it in. Oh, I see, yeah.
Random holes.
Okay, this is a nice sized bathroom. What are we going to have in here?
Great question. So in here, I'll confirm this with you, but I'm actually pretty sure
I was going to say, you got a shower cubicle in there?
Yeah, I think so.
Because you'd fit one.
I'll come back to you on that.
But yeah, you would absolutely fit a shower in there.
Yeah.
And then you haven't got that issue with headspace.
The headspace here.
Yeah.
Let me come back to you on the bathroom
No, not a
stuff.
problem. This is huge.
Big old space, isn't it?
It really
so there
is.
was, interestingly enough, and I'm not sure, you might be able to shed some light on it. What sort of period, if you know, we had a sink here?
Right.
I've
What
never
colour
seen
was
that.
it?
Pink. Like
I
a
would
light
say then
pink.
it's probably 50s or 60s.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, is the colour the
it could be
giveaway?
70s. Yeah, because that's when he started to put coloured things in. And my father used to have an old coach house actually, and our bedroom had a sink in with a vanity unit underneath. It was really bizarre, and that was avocado. And I think it would have probably been put in the 60s or something.
That's
like
interesting
that.
how the colours tell you the date and the trend.
I think it was the thing. It was like the first sort of Ensuite style. I think would have happened probably in the UK. Was that sort of let's put a sink in there so you know we can get up and brush our teeth in the morning. Yeah, but yeah, get it out.
Yeah, rip that out. So, like you say, nice
Absolutely.
big space here. The current consideration here is this is underneath the stairs going upstairs.
Okay.
So the mega flow cylinder is getting put here.
Okay.
We're going to put like a faux wall here that's just dressed up
Yeah.
so it's accessible. But if you look on the outside of the wall, there's a potential knocking this through, putting the lintel in, cutting this out, and then putting some wardrobe space in here.
Yeah, that would be great.
Just to try and have some built-in wardrobe
Great
space.
use of space. And again, this is absolutely, you could do so much with this room. I say in terms of dressing, obviously you know from working with us before, we will bring sort of lighter weight dressing tables and consoles rather than wardrobes and chest of drawers.
Exactly.
But this is something we could easily have. I think this would be really nice staged. I know it's a family home, but maybe it's a guest room. So we could have like a nice dressing table and mirror there, and then maybe a seating set just over here.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, that would be really nice.
Sarah's the most considerate person you've ever had on site, by the way.
He's really agile, isn't he? The
He
way he
is.
ducks and dives around.
He's gone. He ducked.
I know, you see, look at that.
So again, please watch your footing. But
Okay.
in this room where Harry stood right now, that is going to be converted into an ensuite.
Okay.
Just installed these 4 beautiful key-light windows.
These make such a difference in here,
It's
don't
huge,
they?
isn't it?
They're fabulous, they're lovely.
And we're looking at putting a balustrade across here. Still don't know where the bed's going in this room. We can't work it out.
Okay.
And by the way, when we're thinking about where ensuite's going as an example, we think it's going here. But then we're sort of working with this space here as to
Yeah.
where to put a bed.
Which I imagine was where they had the bed before. Would the bed fit here?
Yeah, I think there was a radiator there actually before.
Something there.
You think bed here facing that way?
I
How
think
long-
if you've got a wall here for your ensuite, you could have your bed coming out this way because you've got a lovely window to wake up to in the morning there.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Because that's
That
lovely.
makes more sense.
Imagine waking up though,
Otherwise
and
you're
you're
just looking at a
a
wall.
wall.
Yeah.
So if you could again, from when you're running your power, if then you had that, somebody
sockets
might
in the
want a
stud
better
wall there as an
yeah,
example.
that would be perfect.
All the windows obviously getting replaced in about 3 weeks' time. We're going with
Yeah.
white interior, but agate grey on the outside, flush
Okay.
finish windows.
Super.
Sort of keeping character of
And
the
again,
area.
you'd still have room to, I think, you'd maybe put a little chair or something there, because then you've got that view maybe, or, but we could play around with that, because dressing tables, we always like to put a mirror again, and again, a mirror will bounce some of this light off fabulously in here, so.
That is everything from the house.
That's brilliant.
Initial thoughts?
It's fabulous space.
Big old space, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Good,
Lot of fun.
that is definitely the energy
No.
that we want. And then we will
Great.
take you into the cottage. In terms of the furnishings for the house and the cottage,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure whether we want to try and show two different styles,
Yeah.
or do you think we should just keep it consistent throughout both?
I think this one, they're going to appeal to different people, so I think that one can be slightly difficult, that one. It could be younger, or it could be downsizers, couldn't it? So with that in mind, we'll probably make that one a little bit more traditional, and this may be a little bit more modern for a younger family.
Perfect.
But obviously have that traditional twist in there.
Yep.
And this one, get that really nice family vibe in, but probably a little bit younger, a little bit more modern, a bit more contemporary, because I do love using the contemporary feel in a real,
With that backdrop?
yeah, it'd be really nice to sort of explore, but I think also making it really cosy as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice thick rugs and just, yeah, really
Nice.
lovely.
And then just so you know what's happening outside the
Yes.
back, we've got,
This is huge.
it really is, isn't it?
Doesn't look this big on the video.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Oh my
because there was
goodness.
just lots of things that have been ripped out the garden.
This is gorgeous. This is really lovely.
I'm hoping that's open. Oh, it must be open because Chris is there. So that's going to be that door, lots
Okay.
of glass. The house finishes here. So then we're looking at the cottage.
And you know when people are going to be shown around, will they be coming in from the back entrance or the front entrance?
Very likely the back entrance.
That's right, that's
yeah, this
fine.
is sort of the hub of the property.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
The front
yeah.
doesn't felt like it was ever used before. to be
Right,
honest.
okay, not a problem.
Boiler's going to be against that wall. Probably
Yeah.
not a huge amount of thing that we can do in there. Just like you say, just
Yeah, just dress it, and
kitchen.
this is a nice size.
So we've gone for. I've actually got the colour code on my phone in case it
Oh,
helps.
super.
So in the house we've gone for the light grey shaker style. In the cottage here we've gone for this cashmere.
Yeah,
This
okay.
Real cottagey vibe here.
Yeah, lovely.
And then what I will do is I will share with you this selection of tiles that we're looking at the moment. We're not fixed on any of them.
Okay, but so shaker style again in here.
Shaker style around L shape to this window, and
Okay,
again L shape around there.
okay. Is there any dining space or anything in here?
Nothing in here. no.
Okay, that's fine.
And there's limited space downstairs through here, so this is sort
Right.
of a dining, living.
Oh, okay.
It's a very odd shape.
It is an odd
So
shape,
this is
isn't
definitely going
it?
to challenge you in terms of
Yes.
what to do that makes sense for this property
Yeah, absolutely.
downstairs. We've got little cubby holes in both spaces, both
Oh my
corners. sorry.
goodness, yeah. Very much so. But that could easily be used for shelving or something. And again, might be able to get a slim, it's just a bit here.
I mean, as you've said, shelving, one thing that we don't have in this property is we don't have much storage space.
Okay.
So we might use that as a utility actually, like a,
That would
not
work.
a utility,
Well,
like
just a storage
little
area,
storage room.
cupboard, absolutely. But here, again, that could have a little like desk or bureau, or again, just an accent chair, just a little reading area or something.
This you've got a nice view
That
looking
would
straight
work.
out the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well lit.
Especially if it's downsizers. I mean, they might not still, but might just work part-time from home or something. It'd be nice just to have a little area where they can sit and work. Or so, have the units all been ordered for in here?
Yes,
Okay.
on Monday. So they're probably not on the system yet in case there's any changes that you'd recommend.
I'm just thinking
Well, I can get
if
the
we could
designs
get
across to you.
sort of a breakfast area in here as well as your units, because that's really small.
So this is the place that we need to also get somewhere that people can eat.
Yeah. There's a possibility we could put a small table in the middle here.
What are the units? I think the units are 600 deep, so they'll probably come to, I guess that's what that line was.
But that area would work really nicely to have a little table. And that area would, but that area is probably where you've got your sink and stuff going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a round table in here. It's about, they're normally about 110 in diameter. You could get 4 chairs round. And it would. Are you having you right all the way up to here or just
No.
up here? Yeah, so this would work here for a dining area.
Your vision's better than mine on this. I have no idea what that would look like.
So if I sort of do either side of me, turn around, that would work there.
Okay.
I just think it's important that there's somewhere you need to be able to
Eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially downsizers, they're going to want to be entertaining, having people around for food.
Yeah.
So you don't want to leave, again, someone questioning,
Where
where
am
would
I
I
gonna
eat?
eat?
Where would I have a dining table?
Yep.
They might then decide that they've got room for a dining
Like
table.
you say, they might
against
prioritise-
a window here or something here. You know, they might say, or they could have a sofa here and a dining table here, because you could have a little sofa there and another sofa here, and that could be a dining table. But I think to present the room at its best for selling, I think if we get a two-seater maybe in here, an accent, and then we've got all this lovely space here for a three-seater.
Yeah, okay.
Leave that passageway there, but it still gives that coziness that you can sit and have conversation, and it's warm and nice. It looks like a really good sized living room as well. So is this bathroom?
Bathroom.
Yeah.
We are removing this chimney stack here
Okay.
and putting a shower here.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, it's really lovely, isn't it?
Bed 2.
Yeah. Bed 2.
There is a wall coming back in here. There was a storage, I think there was some form of either a cylinder or some water storage here that is no longer needed, so that's been taken out. So
Yeah.
we're going to put that wall back in. There was a wardrobe and a sink in that corner,
Another one.
all pulled out. So a reasonable space.
It is a really good space. Yeah, so this, if we got a double in here,
Yep.
dressing table here,
I think
accent
we're
chair
ready
in the
for
corner.
double that way. That's the
Yeah.
thinking with the plug sockets.
Absolutely. And we've got a dressing table up against this wall. Again, hitting your light's going to hit a mirror here. So that will work really nicely. And then you've got a little accent chair where people can go, okay, well, I'd fit a wardrobe or a chest of drawers. Because it's just that there's something in that space, and I think, well, if it's big enough for that, it's big enough for. Stops the questioning.
Makes sense. In here,
This is lovely size.
nice size. There was
Yeah.
a shower in that corner, interestingly
I
enough.
can see, yeah.
And there was some built-in wardrobes that we've taken out.
Okay.
So we are contemplating whether to just redress and keep that exposed.
Yeah.
Unsure right now.
Okay.
But working on the floor, and we've made allowances for bed either side because we
Yeah.
didn't know where it was going.
I think if you expose it, I think bed this size, so
And
it's
if we
a bit
don't
more
expose
feature.
it,
You
back it
could
against
switch
it.
it that way. Yeah, it
Okay.
could go either way.
My only concern is,
How good are the bricks?
yeah, it's how good is this going to look once it's done, or is
Yeah.
it just going to look unfinished?
And the thing is, if the finish is going to be sort of that really nice sort of modern, sort of a premium finish, do you want that rustic sort of look of an open brick in there? I don't know. 'Cause-
Consideration for you when you think about the
Yeah.
designs and the style.
Well, what I'll do is I'll look for some mood board sort of ideas, that sort of thing, where we've got an exposed chimney breast, and then you can sort of have a look and visualise and say, yeah, I actually like that idea, or no, I don't.
Perfect.
And then we can look at that. That might then obviously determine how we furnish this room, because we're bringing a different element in. But yeah, that's not a problem at all.
This is the only space that I was extremely confused by, but I'll get the measurements of the kitchen, and
Yeah.
I guess if there is space to get a little dining space in there.
Yeah, I think that would work, and then just make that a living space.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely, because this is a really good size. This is big for a 2-bed.
Yeah.
If you think a 2-bed wouldn't normally have this much space in a kitchen, so if we can make this a kitchen diner,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be lovely.
To wrap things up here,
Yeah.
what's your process when you leave here? What do you then do?
My process now is I'll take all my notes, I'll refer back to your videos, which is why normally I take hundreds of photos, but
Yeah.
I've got that as a really good reference point. So, and then we'll go through room by room, sort of assess what furniture's needed. Then I will look at ideas of design, colour schemes that will work well, furniture that will work well. I will then pull together some ideas of room sets from inventory we already hold, and then look what I then need to order in. We then put our costs together, we send you a list of that cost, what inventory is included there, and an idea of colour palette and room set. And that is the
Absolutely.
next stage.
Perfect.
Not
And
a
in terms
problem.
of when you would normally stage a property, is when every bit of work is done.
Yes.
We're completely off site, which
Yes.
is one of the things that we learnt last time.
Yes.
Because we were still trying to do snagging around Sarah's staging.
Yes.
Which causes a bit of complication, but we learnt our lesson, so we'll get everything completely done, and then you guys
all
come
done,
in and
all
do your
clean,
magic.
oh, yeah, and then it's a lot easier process for everyone then. And in terms of timing, we will probably aim to have it all, both properties done in 2 days.
Perfect.
So yeah, that one, yeah, would take a full day. This one, probably 2/3 of a day, but it would mean we could just come and we then bring Laura on, the photographer.
Yep.
who does fabulous property images. So, and then she would probably come in the following day, and she would get all this done within half a day as well. So,
And they're the photos that show up with the estate agent to put
Yeah.
the property on the market, make
Yeah.
it look as good as it can.
absolutely.
And for people that are watching this and they're thinking, that's great, how long do we get the furniture, I'm just going to call it, an accessories
Initially
for?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
And then if you decide you want to keep it a little bit longer, if you've not got an offer that you wanted to receive, or some people, just because of how the market is at the moment, like to wait until completion, we then roll in 4-week blocks. But it's normally about 20% of the cost of the initial install. So from then on, all you're doing is renting the furniture and accessories on a 4-week block. Whereas the initial install, the costs come from the delivery and the installation and the time and the prep. And we even include obviously all the removal costs into that because it's a one-off cost.
Yep.
So when I say, well, it's extended for another 4 weeks, it's not the initial install cost. So we'll put that price in the proposal as well, so you can see going forwards. But we like to do it that way. Some other staging companies will say an initial sort of 3-month, 12-week rental period, but we like to have a little bit of flexibility for our clients. Some people only want it for 6 weeks. I think these will sell really quickly because they're going to be fabulous. So if you don't need it any longer, then obviously, but if you did want to keep it longer, then that's what we offer.
Perfect. Thank you
Not a
so
problem
much
at
for
all.
today.
That's okay.
I was actually about to ask if I could sit on it, but you're heavier than me.
Yeah, it's all that muscle.
Let's have a quick chat about where we are with the retaining wall, but also, most importantly, because people have seen the wall right now, actually the last time you were on camera, they saw some of the conditions you've got to work in, and it's just started again.
Started again,
It's
yeah.
as if every time we're on site right now, we bring the rain.
It's a sign.
This is going to be done today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond that, we're going to start looking at the porcelain paving. We've got our friends over at Brett provided the porcelain paving for both the back patios for the cottage and the house. What's the plan? What's this going to look like?
As you can see to my right, just past the radio, you see the upstand on the block. That's going to be the next tier up from this level here, which is going to follow the tiers of the garden. And then just up where the labourers just levelling a block there, there's going to be another tier. It's going to lift up another couple of courses. So this can be a tiered wall. We're looking to give this a render finish, maybe K-render.
Yep.
So that'd be nice and light. We'll then have all the banks pulled in, and we'll maybe have some like plantation, because you know I like the plants at the back of the wall. Behind the wall is going to be the land drain that we spoke about.
So when it comes to this property, this is actually getting split out here.
Yep.
We're going to have fence here, and we're basically just going to have 2 large patios at the back, aren't we?
We are, yeah. So between the properties, you have post and rail fencing. We don't want anything too blinding, so you want to have it nice and open, make it feel like a bigger space.
And post and rail literally is posts in the ground and then rails across.
Yeah, dead simple. You see them in a lot of equestrian centres and farms, bits and pieces. Nice, simple, easy maintenance, and like I said, it makes the area feel bigger. So there can be like a divide between the gardens, be a gravel strip between them, so that'll help with some of the soakaways. We'll have the soakaway around all the perimeter, and we'll have an outlet going out to Brook.
Part of me thinks this is going to get turned on in a second. I'm just going to get flipped. Guys, that is the end of week 7 on the Verify build. It's been a really fun week here, but yet again, you can tell right now, we are up against it when it comes to the weather. We're trying to get the landscaping down. You should see next week some porcelain being laid, but I do use the word should because it is weather dependent. But one thing that we know is happening is we've got the kitchen fitter in, so you're going to be able to see the house kitchen going in. Look forward to sharing all that with you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to follow the journey. See you next week.